We've got fruit today. Look at all that fruit. Do we have anyone live yet? Oh. Okay. Hello everyone. This is Cat Chef Kitchen, where we make a different and fun vegan or plant-based food every week, at least once a week, sometimes twice. We did a vegan breakfast yesterday. That was fun.
And delicious.
And delicious, of course. Yeah, those were really good pancakes and good scramble.
Hi, Brock.
Hey, Brock. Welcome. And today, today's meal is kind of just inspired by the day itself. We went out for lunch today and had some really salty vegan food. It was tasty, but it was really salty, and I think we both just kind of feel like having fruit and light for lunch, and it's a beautiful sunny day, and I think we're gonna make some sort of fruity fruit dinner. And what I started thinking about, I don't plan too much, but I start thinking about stuff. I might do something I've never done before and make a pasta salad, like a fruit pasta salad. So having pasta, and we'll have protein of course, but using mostly fruits, maybe a little bit of vegetables in there, but having a lighter salad that's more refreshing, and going for something more refreshing. We've done so many cooked warm foods. Might be fun to do a cooler, more refreshing food today. So the first thing I'm going to do is decide on what protein and pasta we're going to make. So we've got, what protein options do we have? I don't have any beans soaking, so I'm not going to do so that knocks off Azuki, black, and pinto beans. Those take a little bit longer. So we've got red lentils that we can make. Those are going to be quick. We've got some...
Rawls11 says our house is a greenhouse. Our home is a greenhouse. It's awesome.
Our home is a greenhouse? Yeah, we love plants. They're all over this house. Just bringing in that great energy of green, and yeah, it's not even that we've got more plants all over the house. Just plants and skateboards, wood, natural. I think lentils might be a good fun choice today. So these are some organic French lentils, and these are actually, I think, there's something about French lentils that are special. I don't know what it is specifically. I have to look into that, and when I post this recipe, I'll let you know. I'll do the research. I didn't do the research beforehand because I didn't know what I was doing beforehand. But we're gonna be making some green lentils, some French lentils, and for that, I'm gonna grab a pot.
Brock wants to know if we grow our own herbs, and your parents say hi.
Hi, parents, and we don't grow any of our own herbs yet. Right now, the only thing we're growing are some beans. We've got mung beans, pinto beans, and black beans growing in our garden. Every time I've tried to grow anything, it's always failed. I've tried basil, cilantro, chives. I've tried tomatoes. I'm not good at growing and gardening. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know many people that do that. I need help desperately, essentially, with gardening. So, ideally one day. But anyways, we've got our green lentils in this pot. I'm gonna rinse them, and the way I rinse them, you can rinse them a number of different ways. You can put them in a strainer and rinse them. I do this because our strainer is a little bit, the holes in our strainer are a little bit big. So we are going to just rinse and dump each time. And I'll probably do this 3 or 4 times.
Bo's definitely the better chef out of the two of us.
No, Autumn does not give herself enough credit. She's made some of my favorite foods. For example, she's made a sweet potato mash. Before I say that, I just put in about that much water. It doesn't matter, just really put in a bunch of water to cover up the lentils. If you boil off all the water before the lentils are tender, you can always add more water. And at the end, you can drain it if there's extra water left over. So I put in a bunch of lentils. I don't know, it's maybe a cup of lentils that we're gonna have left over. I like to make a bunch of this stuff in advance so that like for the next few days we'll just have in the fridge a bunch of lentils pre-made, and then we can just quickly add them to things. But like I was saying, Autumn, not Lentil, her name is Autumn.
You can call me Lentil.
She made a great sweet potato mash. Maybe I'll make that an episode. Maybe she can do a guest episode one day and make her sweet potato mash, which is sweet potato, coconut cream, and cilantro. And that was phenomenal with some curry powder. It's amazing. All right.
Your parents say your chives grew good, and they still have a plant from you in
because
Pennsylvania.
they are the ones that are taking care of that plant. The chives were they never got bigger. They just got to about that high, and like they never grew. I don't know if they're supposed to get much bigger. Pasta is what's next, which isn't in the fridge.
I'm distracting you. I'm sorry.
No, this is great. I love being able to interact with people when I cook. It makes it so much more fun. So we have these two, which are appear to be the same shape. What other shapes do we have? We got macaroni in there. I've been saving that for a potential vegan mac and cheese one day. We've got, I think we might have some pasta in here. Do we?
I don't know.
Sometimes things end up, I thought we had more pasta somewhere.
We might have ate it all.
We've probably had, yep, looks like we've had it all, so. We're sticking with this shape today for our pasta salad, which is gemelli. You could use whatever pasta shape you like. There is, like, I think some strategy behind choosing pasta shapes, like, because the way the pasta can, like, catch the sauces and things like that. But I very rarely intentionally choose a shape. It's more like whatever looks fun at the time.
Have you ever made your own pasta?
I've never made, not recently. I think we did in like second grade, but I don't recall that process that much. Maybe one day I'll make pasta on this channel. It's funny, that's one of the few things I haven't felt compelled to make, because it just seems like a lot of work. If I'm making anything from scratch that involves wheat, it's usually bread or tortillas, or pancakes or crepes. Pasta just seems like more work, so that's why I like more time, and I'm usually not... I think I like... I don't know, there's more of a craft to pasta making, it seems. And there's more technique, and it's more involved process. It's more of like an art too. And I've never been into that side of cooking so much. I don't want to do like this elaborate process to make a dish. I really want it to just be simple. I want to be creative with the flavors and the foods, but still make it something that's not a pain in the butt, like where there's a bunch of setup you have to do and a bunch of cleanup that you have to do, even though you usually have to clean up a lot after I cook. So I'm trying to minimize that.
Okay, Bo, real quick, Brock asks what other protein sources you cook with other than beans.
So other than beans and lentils, that's obviously the main sources we do. Quinoa is a big one that I'll do. Quinoa is a big one, and then and quinoa is this stuff. It's a weird quinoa, how it's like written. And this is like more of a grain thing. So this is a good thing to do. It doesn't have, I don't think, as much protein as like beans and lentils do. And I also do a lot of, we'll do tempeh, but that's also based on a bean. Like, and honestly, I do a lot of legume-based proteins. And the reason for that is I can't really do nuts and seeds. A lot of times that would make a good substitute for something. Bread works well too. Like if there's something that's like really bready, you can have some protein, but I still want more. So I particularly cook a lot with a variety of different legumes and just try and spread out the variety of legumes I'll have. So there's black beans, pinto beans, lentils, zucchini beans, white beans, green beans, peas, red lentils, green lentils. The protein does get repetitive after a while, for sure. But if you think about it, like when I was eating meat, I was pretty much cycling between pork, beef, and poultry. So when I look at it that way too, it's like, well, I wasn't really able to cycle that much with my animal-based proteins when I was doing that. It'd be, the grocery stores, sometimes you can get like lamb. Fish also is another big one, of course. But I think that's actually also one of my biggest struggles and why I'm not full vegan is because I still want eggs. I still want at least one more source of protein other than legumes, because just if you don't, especially if you don't like legumes, but like I said, you could do seeds and nuts if that is something that you like almond butter, peanut butter. You do pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, all that. But like I said, I recently had to kind of cut all that out for my own health, so I don't cook that much, but you can add it to anything that I make here. That was a rambly answer.
That was amazing. That was very helpful.
I think I felt the need to ramble because I also question isn't there any other protein sources other than legumes for vegans, and I haven't found that yet. That feels balanced. Quinoa still feels too much like a carb to me, even though it technically has. Well, technically, this is fun to do live right now. So in a serving of pasta, which is 56 grams, there are 6 grams of protein. And in a serving of quinoa, which is 35 grams, there's these are lentils. Where did I put the quinoa?
Oh no, it's back there.
Oh, there it is. That's funny.
Hello, anyone who joined. We're talking about protein.
Yeah, so this is quinoa again, and the quinoa is 44 grams and has 6 grams of protein. So, that's 56, 44, but they both have 6. So this has slightly more protein than pasta. Maybe I'm not going to do the math in my head. Autumn, you can do the math in your head.
I'm just trying to camera right now.
I'm not going to do the math in my head right now. I'm too
Hi, Lance.
Flustered in cooking. Hey, Lance. But basically, quinoa does have a little bit more protein than pasta, but not as much as lentils and things like that. So I like to cycle through it, and my whole reason for rambling is because I think I feel some sort of dissatisfaction with only cooking with legumes as protein. So if anyone has any suggestions for others, keep in mind tofu is still based on a legume, tempeh is still based on legumes, and seitan is based on wheat, which I also don't want to add more wheat if I'm already cooking pasta. So, we have fruit now, and we are going to be cooking some of this fantastic fruit. We have some green bananas. I think I'm going to start eliminating first. We're going to get goat fruit off the island.
That's a fun game.
So, while green bananas are excellent in green banana salad, which I have in Puerto Rico, which has green olives, and I think there's bay leaf, and some other things. I don't have the other ingredients to make a really good green banana salad right now, so I'm not going to make green banana salad. So we're going to set these aside. Next on the island, this is a pomelo, and I'm not a huge fan of pomelos. These are like grapefruits, and they're really, really bitter. So we acquired this from the Avocado Man, who's a man that goes to Autumn's office's alley, because there's a taco and burrito place in her alley. And she intercepts him as he's making the avocado deliveries to the burrito shop, and picks up her own little batches of avocados and citrus fruits from a farm somewhere off the 15 in up northern county of San Diego. Next I'm gonna take bananas off the island here with the counter, and the bananas, I love bananas. I've already had a banana and a half today. I don't really need much more banana right now. And when you add bananas to things, it really makes everything taste like banana. So I'm not going for banana flavor right now. Let's see, what else do we have? Oof. Alright, so let's assess the situation. We've got, this is another pomelo, he got on there somehow. Disguised with the pear. We got a pear, apples, we got red apples. I'm gonna take out the red apples. I've also assessed, this is because I can see who else we've got here to contend with, so I'm gonna vote them off. And red apples are great, but they're sweet, but they don't have like anything like a green apple has, where it's got like a little bit of sweetness and tartness. And we've got some other interesting fruity things in here. Here's some blackberries. I'm gonna taste one of these.
No, we need to wash them.
We need to wash them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we haven't washed the blackberries,
Mm-mm.
apparently.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I usually recommend you wash the blackberries first.
I didn't wash anything yet.
Okay. So I may or may not. No, I'm kidding.
You're fine.
All right. Blackberries are good. We've got nectarines. Are these nectarines? Yes, nectarines. They're kind of like a peach, but have a smooth skin. I think one of our viewers, Brock, is a champion at making peach pie, which is a close cousin of the nectarine. Yeah, there was a peach pie. I saw pictures of this peach pie. I still remember that. That was like 15 years ago. We've got apricots. That's an orange. This is an apricot. We've got these feel really ruddy and nice. Green
That's
apple.
Brock's specialty.
Yes. And now we've got some avocados. Are any of these ready?
One's in the fridge that I think are good.
One's ready in the fridge. This one feels ready. And we've got an onion that thought it could hide. I think this is gonna be good. Probably like, what are you doing with an onion with a bunch of fruit? I don't want this to be too desserty and too fruity. It's gonna be more like a fruit salsa, similar to what we made the other night. So not just pure sweetness alone. We're gonna add some acid in there to like, I never know what the right word is. I want to say brighten it up, but that's so like nondescript sometimes. And then the onion's just gonna add a flavor, like an element of more like just something to interact with the sweetness, just to provide like some contrast to the sweetness. And then of course we're gonna add some hot peppers. And I can't choose much beyond here. The citrus, I don't know if I want. Citrus is good. Citrus is staying. I almost said no to citrus, but that's gonna stay in. We're gonna do avocados. We've got one avocado in the fridge. I'm gonna take out because look at how adorable this one is. It's like a little baby avocado.
Aww.
Look at that. So we're gonna use some avocados. I'll probably take 3 avocados.
Brock wonders if you're gonna be doing any vegan desserts.
Yes, I will be doing a vegan dessert soon. We did a non-live version of Banana Surprise. So I'll post that very soon. And then we'll do more vegan desserts soon. For sure. Maybe next week we'll do another double episode week and make some vegan desserts. All right, avocado, citrus, hot peppers. I'm gonna throw them all in. Onion, green apple, because that's gonna provide a little bit of tartness and sweetness. You know what, I can't decide if I want this apricot in here. So I'm gonna test out this apricot. And I didn't mention anything about the pasta, but if you notice, I just threw the pasta in cold water and just started boiling it right away. I don't find that creates any issue. I'm sure chefs are like, you cannot do that because it does this, whatever this is, and I don't know what that is, and I don't care because I think it's fine like that. So I just throw it in and do it that way. It's safer. You don't have to like worry about like when you're dumping it in, like splashing boiling water on you. So this is the safe way to cook, or at least I try to be safe most of the time. You do want to stir it every so often though, because it will clump together otherwise. I also don't add any salt. I don't know. There's another thing that I've heard that you should do that I have not done. So I don't notice too much of a difference. And we have our brand new cutting board that we just picked up to get today. I was gonna make one, but this was $20, and I just wanted one right now, so I don't have any scrap wood around. I'm gonna taste this apricot and see if it belongs in what I'm gonna be making. Wow. That's really good. I think these are ready. I think we should just use these because they're like ready. I think the camera girl needs a slice. Okay. Fruit salad time. Or pasta salad time. She's laughing at me right now. I don't know why.
You're so handsome.
Well, thank you. So my camera girl is also a professional stylist, so I just got a haircut. So if anyone needs haircuts, Autumn Love is the girl. All right. I'm gonna cut the onion first. The reason I cut the onion first is because I want that to sit with some salt and vinegar so that it cuts back some of the bite of the onion, because onions can be pretty harsh. I'm not cooking with my contacts in today, so I might cry.
Welcome to the club.
Alright, so I split the onion in half and peel off the outer layers of the onion. Onions are great. They were my least favorite thing. I would not eat anything with chunks of onion in it when I was little. And then I had grilled onions once just after I graduated high school, and I decided they were delicious, and I've eaten onions a lot since then. And I'm gonna try and cut them in very thin little slices. I like to do thin because, again, it's if you have too much onion at once, it just usually doesn't leave a pleasant feeling in your mouth. And that's because onion doesn't want to be eaten. Most of the foods we eat actually don't want to be eaten. They have self-defense mechanisms in place to prevent from being eaten. So onions are one of those things. Garlic, it's harsh and unpleasant because that's how it defends itself. Fruit's really the only thing that's meant to be eaten because the fruit is the seed is the legacy of the plant and how it will grow into the future and further survive. And the seed wants to be spread, so it wants animals to eat it, not the seed, but the fruit around the seed. And then, I won't go into more detail because we're talking about food right now, but you can fill in the gaps on your own. Right. We got. I'm gonna do this whole onion in here. And it's gonna be really fruity, the salad. It's gonna be great. Super refreshing. I do have some ideas for other things we can do with legumes. I'm just going back to that whole protein thing and legumes and beans and lentils and alternatives for all that. And we were talking about some ideas today that we might try out in the near future regarding at least transforming these proteins into things that make them look not as much like their original thing, which is what processing is. But we want to process them in a way that's not super energy intensive, but just makes them, kind of fools us psychologically into thinking we're having maybe something different. That way it just keeps things exciting. So I've only done a few episodes of this so far, so hopefully you haven't been exhausted by by our different protein sources yet, but hoping it'll get better soon. It will get better soon.
Brock says artfully handled topic on fruits, Bo.
Thank you.
I agree.
Our pasta is done.
He did the taste test.
Did a little quick taste test. Dump this. Ooh, these glasses are getting steamy. And because we want a pasta salad, it's going to be cold, I'm going to rinse this under some cold water for a minute. And this is just gonna cool the pasta down faster. It's all sitting together. It's all got its own heat that it's going to keep. So, because I don't want it to retain that heat and continue cooking, or I don't want a warm pasta salad, I'm gonna let it cool off by just flushing it with cold water, creating a little mini heat exchanger here. So the heat is going to leave the pasta and travel to the water. And with the flow of heat. Heat is what flows, not cold, apparently. What I'm told. What I was told in engineering school. And oh yeah, perfect chili. Let's check on these lentils. Lentils are done too. That was super easy. When you have a pot like this, you gotta be extra careful because the metal handles get very hot, which is unfortunate. Seems like the design can be improved. But for right now, I'm embracing it. And same thing, we are going to do some rinsing of the lentils, some cleansing of the lentils. Very exciting. Wow, look at all that water that was in there. I think that'll do. I'm not gonna worry about rinsing these as much, just cooling them off as much. If I find that they're still too warm, I'm ready to start assembling the salad. I'll rinse them again, but right now, yeah, they're basically, because that was just one big batch of water that was in there, that transferred the heat a lot easier. Okay, I didn't adjust the onion, so I'm gonna put some salt on the onion. So it's maybe like a half teaspoon of salt or so. Some white vinegar. I like white vinegar because it's kind of a neutral vinegar. Maybe like 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. You could use other vinegars if you like. I could see a number of different vinegars working for this. I just particularly like that one the most. Next, we are going to do... I'm going to do the avocado, I think, last, because that's most likely to get brown. Even though we do have vinegar, so that's going to help prevent the browning. Acid helps prevent browning. Acid helps preserve the color of a lot of different fruits and vegetables. So that is helpful. Let's see, I'm gonna do 3 of these oranges. I think these are all oranges. Sometimes we open them up and they're different colors inside. An orange. I don't know if I think I did this fact last week, but I'm gonna do it again anyways, in case anyone didn't know. I always thought that an orange was named after the color, but it turns out the color is named after the fruit. So, that's interesting. I love little bits of information like that. Yeah, look at this one. See, this one's red on the inside. It smells really good. It's like tie-dye, actually. It's got like a little bit of red, a little bit of orange. All right. I'm just creating a chaotic mess right now of this orange. I love how well the orange peel sticks to the fruit of the orange. It's really interesting how that works like that. I always have such a hard time. I think I put extra pressure on myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do this faster because people are watching. And I think that slows me down, so I just gotta like take it easy, find more stories to tell, make you feel like it's not maybe taking as long. So, oranges. Oranges. Oranges are a citrus fruit.
I have an orange joke.
You have an orange joke? All right. Autumn's got an orange joke she's gonna share with everyone as I'm peeling the oranges.
Why'd the orange stop?
I don't know. Why did the orange stop?
It ran out of juice.
Oh, that's great. That is a good one. I don't have any fruit jokes, I don't think. Apricot, blackberry, blueberry. No fruit jokes.
Does anyone have any fruit jokes? Looks like a blood orange, your parents said.
Yeah. Are blood oranges bitter? I don't know if it's a blood orange though, because it's not totally... I've never seen anything like it. Where did these oranges come from? Are these from the avocado man in the alley?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These are also mysterious. I'm gonna try one of these. It's delicious. I love that these are local. I don't know if they're organic. They're probably not, since we just get them from a man that is supplying a burrito shop that does not look like it, does not advertise as being organic. So, usually if they're not advertising the organicness, they're not organic, because there's a lot of money involved. Look at how it's like just squirting out. I'm gonna start doing this over here, just because the juices are just going everywhere, and it's great. So now I can start chopping some of this up. Sometimes some of these oranges have seeds in them, so just be careful and be mindful of that. You do not want to serve oranges with seeds. You don't want somebody to bite into an orange seed. I think it's kind of bitter. I don't know if it's dangerous too, if it's a lot of seeds you shouldn't really eat. Cherimoya, actually. So cherimoya is a weird fruit that kind of has like a turtle shell-like looking outside, like skin, and it's soft. It probably has the texture of what's the texture like? Like kind of banana-like. a little bit smoother and creamier than a banana. It's a really interesting fruit that I think it tastes a little bit like it reminds me of bubble gum, actually. It's very sweet, but the cherimoya seeds are actually toxic. Like very toxic, so much so that, oh, there's a seed. I was watching a cooking show once, and they had to, the chefs, it was a cooking show called Chopped. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, where the chefs are given a mystery basket before each course, and they have to prepare a dish using the ingredients in a mystery basket. And you know, if you don't know what that is, you don't know that you shouldn't use the seeds. And someone was cooking it in a pan with the seeds, and they actually had to the judge had to step in and ask them to throw the seeds away, or the whole dish away, because the seeds had been cooked with the fruit itself. So don't eat cherimoya seeds.
Are there other seeds we shouldn't eat that are toxic?
I believe peach pits and stone fruit, so like apricot, nectarines, peaches, I think they have either like arsenic or cyanide or something. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. But an almond is also, I think, in that family. And seeds are just something to be very cautious of, I think, in general. Seeds are really fascinating. I mean, they're the whole potential of a huge life form contained in one small little package. Like, an almond contains all the potential of an almond tree. Of course, there's sun and stuff that are needed. But... Alright, we got our orange added. I just did some fine chopping of the orange. Next, I'm gonna do some green apple. And this salad, I'm probably gonna throw some. I want it to be kind of dressed in something light. So I'll probably just do olive oil with it all and toss it with some olive oil. Kind of thinking maybe creamy. I haven't decided yet. If I do creamy, I'm gonna need to think of something else. Green apple. Some people are fruitarians, where they eat only fruit. And I wonder, I think part of the thinking is because the fruit is like the one thing that nature designed for us, like that is to be eaten. But unfortunately, a lot of fruits really don't have high protein content. I think guava is the one that has the highest, which is really cool. But it's still not like nearly as much as some other fruits. And just the amount of sugar you'd be eating if you were eating only fruit is pretty significant. It's probably not good to eat that much sugar, even though it's natural sugars. All right, green apple's getting chopped up. Sometimes you gotta make little sound effects. You gotta smile when you cook. That's always an important part of cooking. Kind of turned into a little Sean Connery accent there. We were talking about James Bond the other day. Some of that's coming through now in my cooking subconsciously. All right, green apple. I'm gonna get every little bit, and you know what? I'm gonna snack on that core in a minute, so I'm not gonna throw that away. Now we're gonna add some apricot, because this was so good. Just gonna de-seed this like that.
Taking away its potential.
Yeah. Apricot is really good. We also make and when we traveled in Europe this summer, and they had some of the best peaches in Europe, and we started making a
peach tomato sauce that was just phenomenal. One of my favorite things that came out of that trip, and it wasn't something that we had like had like we just kind of came up with it one night, and it is so good. But you need good peaches for it and good tomatoes for it, which thankfully are more prevalent in Europe, but unfortunately not as much here in the States. I'm gonna do another apricot.
It was like one of the best sauces ever. And it was those like donut peaches too,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if that
Saturn
really makes
peaches,
a difference.
donut peaches. Yeah, they were all good though. We had that like at least once a week when we were traveling, even when we came back. It's been a whole year now almost since we've had that. Looks like the peaches and these stone fruits, I hope I'm using the right word there, are coming back though because it's summertime. Alright. Apricot has been deployed. Now peppers and habaneros. Peppers, habaneros, and jalapenos, habaneros, and avocados.
Brock wants to know if we eat this well every night, and what do we make Monday through Saturday?
This is
Yeah.
very typical of our regular routine. More leftovers usually. That's the only other difference. Usually we'll have something pre-made, like there might be pasta already made in the fridge, and we'll just whip that onto the stove real quick. Or we'll have some veggies left over, or whatever. I try and start fresh every Sunday just for the show, just so we can kind of show everything at its fullest. I'm sure as we go further down, and I start to repeat some dishes, we'll have things already prepped. Maybe do a little bit more leftovers. But whoa!
Whip.
That is what happens in the kitchen, folks. So this is we're doing this. That's just how you cook. Just be prepared to make the mess. It's great to just, fling things. It's so much fun. Just don't worry about trying to keep things clean. You'll clean later. Just let the mess just be a reflection of your creativity. Create the mess in contrast to something beautiful. It makes it really fun.
Beautifully put, Bo.
I haven't always been one with words. Smells fresh. Next, I should put on gloves because I'm going to be cutting habaneros. Habanero is the last, look at these deli gloves. Aren't these fantastic? I don't even know where these came from, but...
Pig.
Oh, they came from Pig. There he is. For those of you that don't know, Pig's our neighbor in the garage. He's super handy. Amazing human being. I feel like I'm ready to make a sandwich at the deli. Want some roast beef or Cajun chicken breast? Something is so satisfying about doing that. I'm sorry. Look at they're like extra large. I feel like I have to be fancy with my hands now. I'm gonna save some of these seeds and we're gonna plant them. We're gonna throw them in the garden. I'm gonna see if I can do that and see if we can get some hot peppers to grow. I love hot peppers. It's very nice to share that with someone. Those of you that don't know, Autumn is actually a very impressive, what's the word? Consumer of capsaicin. She has won, actually in Australia, she won a hot pepper eating contest. It's very impressive. the guy next to her, she was up against two other guys that were bad-mouthing her. One of them threw up after his first bite, and the other one only was able to eat one pepper. And Autumn got through, you got through 4, right? She got through 4. No big deal. Pretty much shut out the entire competition with her pepper eating skills. Such a fun fact. I can't say that. I never did a hot pepper competition.
We did one.
Yeah, we did our own between each other with Carolina Reapers, and that was a fun experience. She actually ate the seeds. I ate around the seeds. I didn't realize that we had to eat the seeds too. And I was suffering. Yeah, things got a little hairy that night. But we made it. We're still here. You can eat it and live. It's good for your immune system. That's what I love about hot peppers. They're great for your immune system, and they actually have more vitamin C than orange. I think. I'm pretty sure. And that's why I eat them. Mushrooms are great for your immune system. One of my favorite things to make when I'm feeling like I'm going to get sick is I take avocado, habanero, red onion, and orange and make a salsa. And it's my, like, that's what you should eat if you feel like you're getting sick. Add as much habanero as you can handle.
Dr. Bo.
Dr. Bo. Now that this has been
Deli Doctor.
the Deli Doctor. Deli Doctor. I feel like I'm going to go into surgery right now. Came out of surgery. Just want to, like, touch and mash everything around. I don't know, maybe I'll reuse these at some point. Try not to generate too much plastic waste. They're gonna go up with the dinosaurs. But I'm gonna wash the avocados now. You should wash avocados according to Autumn's mom, who may not be watching right now. And that is because if there's pesticides, if they're not organic, it can get on the knife and then go into the avocado, right? Say that right? Mm-hmm. So we're trying to keep ourselves safe and healthy. And even though we may not always be able to purchase organic, we try and de-pesticide it whenever we can. You can grow avocados from an avocado tree from an avocado seed. I haven't done it, but I think my parents have an avocado tree somewhere that they're growing. Actually, I should... Yeah, how's that going, guys? Do you still have that seed? And here's a little baby one. Wouldn't it be cool if we just like open one of these up and it was just bright red or orange on the inside? How fun would that be? I would be totally surprised. I mean, now I wouldn't be because I just said it could happen, but up until that moment, that would have been a really cool thing. Does anyone remember the ketchup that came out when like the movie Shrek came out and it was green ketchup?
Mm-hmm.
I questioned how natural red ketchup is. If they can make it green that easily.
Wasn't there purple too?
Yeah, there was purple, I think, as well. I don't know what the theme of the purple ketchup was, though. Alright, now that we've got our avocados, just...
Your parents have to just move them outdoors.
Perfect. There's the answer. So I do the little cross zigzag pattern here. This is my preferred way of de-fleshing the avocado. Avocados are really a special fruit. They've kind of got a texture similar to a cherimoya. Yeah, and in our vegan desserts, avocado, I often use avocado in place of chocolate pudding, which is really good. We know a man that works at a deli named Bear, and he uses avocado in his cookies, his vegan cookies, in place of egg. Right? Didn't he say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright. Now we're going to scoop it. Open the correct drawer first time. Autumn just pat me on the back, like, good job, you did it, I'm proud of you, you're learning. You can't be good at everything, people. Just keep trying. Just keep doing your best. That's what this is all about. Just do your best.
It makes me so happy though.
When I get it right.
No.
Or when I fail.
Yeah.
She likes it when I fail.
Well, it's succeeding and making me happy.
Well, that's good. A plus somewhere, a negative somewhere is a plus somewhere else. It's a balance of the universe. Law of physics. This avocado is a little bit on the firmer side, which I like. I definitely prefer my avocados a little bit less ripe. I find that avocados get like a really weird flavor and taste if they're too ripe. They like make me feel sick. So, underripe avocados are my preferred thing. They're still a little soft to the touch, but whoa, whip. Yeah, it's pretty firm around some of these edges. It's good. It's gonna provide, the avocado's gonna provide some richness. So I didn't talk about why I'm adding a bunch of the stuff that I'm adding here. And they're, sometimes I'm very intentional with things, other times there's less intention. But there was definitely some thought that went into this. So breaking down each component, we have the onion, I think I mentioned that. That's for like some complexity for some of this. The citrus really just adds a nice freshness that complements the peppers. I have the peppers in for heat and some flavor. That I like the flavor of habaneros and jalapenos. They're like the last, like once you get hotter than a habanero, I find that like ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers, the flavor just isn't that great. Regardless of the heat level, they're just not the best tasting peppers that are out there. If you don't like hot peppers, again, really good substitutes the best substitute I think of for jalapeno is gonna be a green bell pepper, and the best substitute for habanero will be a red bell pepper or orange bell pepper or yellow bell pepper. You get one of those stoplight pepper packs. Actually, don't get those pepper packs, because that I'd be condoning individual packaging, and I don't want to condone that for plastics. So it's best to just buy the fruits when they're just hanging out on their own, not wrapped up in plastic. Just so that we help reduce plastic waste. I know I should actually get my own pair of pepper gloves so that I don't have to use and dispose of these plastic gloves every time, because that's pretty wasteful. So that's gonna come out of this video. We're gonna go to the store one of these days and I'm gonna get some pepper gloves, and they'll be dedicated to cutting hot peppers, and will reduce our environmental impact through that, which is really important right now as we've just entered into a phase of life where everything is just so much more disposable because of a pandemic and virus. So I'm gonna start to mix all of this up. This looks amazing. I love fresh fruits because they preserve their color so well. So the apple's gonna provide tart and sweetness. The real sweet guys here are gonna be the orange, the apple, and the apricots. They each have their own flavors, and they're gonna be adding a sweetness element. The onion and the peppers are gonna add more flavor that is not sweet, like more of like a bitter to complement the sweetness. The vinegar's adding some sour to brighten everything up and make everything a little bit more exciting in your mouth. And I don't really like that comment. And the salt's gonna make it salty and give it bring out the flavor. The avocado adds some richness and substance, some meatiness. It's not really like super savory. What's this? We got some
Brock
avocado.
wants us to move to South Florida so he can come over for dinner 3 to 4 times a week.
We were talking about Florida actually
Yeah.
recently. We're kind of California's been kind of. I mean, he knows. there's some things in California that are not ideal, but I don't know. It's California, Florida. It's tough. Florida does have like more fresh, like tropical fruits. Here it's a little bit more deserty. All right, I'm gonna take a little taste of this and see where we're at, because I haven't tasted any of this so far. So it's important to reflect upon. Step back and reflect. Like if you're taking a nice stroll along a lake, you just want to like stop, like look in the lake, make sure there's nothing like creepy behind you that you didn't see, and just make sure you're on the right path.
Brock says it's beautiful and sustainable in Florida.
All right. Well, we're not. I'm not opposed. I have to talk about it with Autumn, but
No state
I'm not-
income tax, too.
yeah, it's a lot cheaper to run a business there.
What's the verdict on this deliciousness?
This is amazing. Actually, I don't want to do anything to this. This is like. I don't want to change anything. It doesn't need anything else. So, now, we're gonna do, should we build it independently and let it all, this is the question. I love that you guys all get to see, like when I'm faced with a decision, I really don't know what to do. This happens every so often. I just kind of freeze. Like, wait. What do I do? Autumn, help! I was gonna.
I think independent
She thinks independent. I think that's good.
for storage purposes. Or,
Well,
blend
the
together
benefit
better. Yeah,
of-
blend together.
that's yeah. So
Your chef's call. I know you asked.
I'm gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do both actually. Why have to make a decision when you can just eliminate the decision at all? Just do both. So why you can't? It's not an either or. It's that and. So we've got another bowl. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna transition this to this bowl. I'm gonna be moving things all around. And the fun thing about this, you can change up whatever fruits you want to be in here. You don't have to use, you could, you know, if you didn't have a green apple on hand, you used red apple, you'd be alright. Nothing bad's gonna happen. If you want to throw some lemon in here, if you have lemon, that might work, that might be fun. If you could leave the apricot out, you could throw, I didn't do any of the blackberries, you could throw blackberries in. There's not a right or wrong with the specific fruit. Just don't like overload it with too many fruits, because that sounds fun and exciting. Like, I love all these fruits, like let's just throw everything in the bowl. But then what happens is you start getting like flavors that conflict too much, and sometimes less is more. And by more I mean more better. So less is sometimes more better. So we're gonna start with some spoonfuls of pasta. I use the big bowl because I'm adding more things to this than what was in. That's just the salad in that one. So we're gonna just start like this. And that way you could add more if you want to add more of anything. And we got our lentils. It'd be nice if there was like a natural paint for foods, because lentils kind of don't look the most
appetizing. They're kind of like this dark green. They're kind of down, like kind of like sad looking.
Hmm.
I wonder if there's anything that you could like spray like on the food to make it. But then it's like, no, this is how it's meant to be. Gotta keep it natural. I've got my lentils and the pasta, and now we're gonna add some of this goodness. Oh, look at that.
My sister said, less is sometimes more better. Can we please start a list of quotes? Thank you for pointing that out, Joy.
That's gonna be a shirt. It's gonna be Cat Chef. It's gonna be aprons. If anyone would like to buy an apron in advance, we're gonna be printing them here. It's gonna be Cat Chef, and then it's gonna be less is sometimes more better. Meow.
Meow. Stop.
Shavasana Steve's just kind of hanging out right here with his chicks.
Ashamata says hello. Salfa 3, great cooking.
Thank you.
It smells so good.
It smells.
too.
It's so funny because there's like, how does it smell good? We haven't like heated anything. There's nothing like permeating the air. There's just like all this fresh citrus and fruit and the onion and all of that. And I just keep wanting to add more of this.
I know, it's so good.
And then.
Hello, Iris Autumn.
Hey,
Thanks
Iris.
for watching.
All right. I think this is a good start. And I gotta just taste it again now that it's all mixed. I know this is awesome. This is just deliciousness.
Someone said add meatballs.
Meatballs. That's the secret ingredient. Now we've got the meatballs. I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me about the meatballs. Yeah, we don't have meat. I have pancakes though. You can throw pancakes in there. These are the pancakes from the other day. For those of you that missed it, they're really good just to snack on too. They're like chili blueberry muffins.
Brock says do the Cat Chef Kitchen t-shirt. Less is sometimes more better.
Okay. We got our screen printing press. We can
Let's
turn
do
this
it.
around. I'll make the design tonight. We'll be printing shirts tomorrow. Get stuff done. Next, olive oil. I think we should add a little bit of olive oil. I think it's just gonna add a little bit more richness to everything and just provide that. There's something about olive oil that just that little bit of flavor it can give. So we're not gonna add too much. But just olive oil is part of a nice healthy Mediterranean diet. Got my half Italianness coming through. Oh, what else do we put in here? I think we just mix it at this point. Look at this fruity, delicious salad. Why did fruity have to become a negative? Usually when people say something's fruity, it's not good, but let's change that. Let's bring fruity back and make it good. Fruity is way better. All right, let's see.
Way more better?
I want more fruit in here though. Forgot that I can embarrass myself more. Okay. This is coming together. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we've got the right amount. Now we got it just right. Do I need more salt in here? That's the next question. We're fine tuning that right now. We're on the final part of the curve. So for those of you that don't know, I think we need to make a little graph.
One of your parents said the better half. I'm not sure what.
The better half.
It was probably a reference to something else.
We have Sharpie dry erase. So with anything, there it is. We have, whenever you're doing a project, Now we're getting into project management and engineering development. You have a curve like this. This is time and completion. And usually when we start cooking, this is kind of how my thing goes. I kind of just like putz around, figure out what I'm doing, and then I just take off. And then we're just like going, we're cooking everything, and then we get here and like it's almost done, and we're like almost there, and this is the 100% right here, and then we just kind of skim along this surface. And we just gotta break that barrier. So right now I'm like right here. So we're almost there. That's a graph of what's happening right now. So let's see if we can break through that,
Half
that
Italian.
threshold.
Yes, I agree, Charlie. Just kidding. I love both sides.
The salt, despite the cinnamon label, it's how we deceive our guests. Fun little, no. I'm gonna just get a little pinch of salt over this whole thing. Like I said, our lunch was super salty, so I don't wanna. How'd this end up in the sink? Things get crazy when you're cooking. Yeah, look at that. Look at how pretty now the lentils have been. See, all the lentils needed was some pretty partners in here. Now they don't look that bad. That's it. Cross the threshold. Done. So, one more bite, just to confirm. It's just like, imagine pasta salad meets smoothie. That sounds kind of gross actually, but imagine the best possible version of that. I'm gonna have Autumn confirm that this is actually good. And if she thinks it needs anything, if it's missing anything, here's this massive bite. I've got a...
Don't film me do that. You don't have to.
How is it?
Oh, it's delicious.
It's delicious? That's what I like to hear.
The habanero heat.
Yeah, there's some heat from the habanero.
It's really good.
Good. That's what we were going for. That's the goal.
Yeah, I like the little lentils whipped in there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're good. Is there anything else that we need to cover? Are there any final questions now that class is completed?
Plate it.
Oh, plating? See, here's one of the situations where it's kind of like a pre-mixed deal. Like, there's no rule. You just dig right in.
Joy said whipped. Joe thinks he can use the word whipped.
Sorry. I try.
The lentils needed a pretty partner.
Look at this beautiful little hill of food. And then, I hear shouting. And then, I'm just gonna add a little bit more on top. Here, just for extra, some of the extra food love. And look at that. Just after 7 o'clock, we just finished our hour. We're a little late, but this is it. Now we are ready to eat our dinner. I'm gonna take a picture of this before I forget saying that, so I don't forget actually after I turn this all off. Any questions?
Joy says it looks really yummy. Brock says it looks delicious. Nicely done.
Awesome. Thank you. I hope you all can enjoy, maybe make your own little fruit salad. I know this took some time, but I spent a little bit of time just like washing all the fruits and all that, and I made a lot of it. So, just incorporating fruit, mixing. I love mixing fruit with peppers, onions, salt, and vinegar. Just incorporate that, and especially like green apple and citrus, like orange, and mixing an avocado with all that. Like that's kind of like the template, the base for everything, and then you could switch it around from in there. What peppers you want to use, what type of onion, what kind of citrus, apple, and then like we did here, we threw in some apricot.
Would you put nutritional yeast on it?
You could. I think it'd just be weird. Like nutritional yeast and fruit just... For me, I don't particularly love that. Some applications it's good, but I don't think I'd want it here. You could serve it with nutritional yeast so that people have the option. Which, by the way, that is another protein source that I did not mention. Nutritional yeast is a good protein source. Just let's...
Your parents say bon appetit.
5 grams of protein for 9 grams of nutritional yeast. So that's like a lot compared to lentils even. Because remember, lentils were 9 grams for 54 grams. This is 5 grams for 9 grams. That's more than 50% of it is protein content. Not all proteins are the same. There's like amino acids and all that other stuff, and that gets into an area that I don't know anything about really. So you can Google the proteins. Just go that way. Go on and Google proteins. I don't have the nutritional information. I just have the cooking information. That's it.
Your mom says no to nutritional yeast, so my sister said it'd be like cheese on fruit.
Which sometimes works, like apple pie with cheddar cheese. That's a thing that I don't particularly like, hence why I don't want to do this. But some people do like cheese and fruit, like cheese and crackers and fruit plates. We went to, I'm rambling now just about cheese and fruit. Cheese and fruit works, nutritional yeast and this would probably work fine. So we'll just take it out. Maybe Autumn will put some on hers. Maybe I'll try.
I'll experiment.
She'll do the experimenting. That's it. So if you have not joined the email list, there's an email list on the catchefkitchen.com website. And if you get on that email list, that's the best way to find out when I'm going to be doing spontaneous other little cooking things like breakfast. And this is every Sunday night at 6, except for when we don't do it, but we haven't not done it yet since we started doing this. But I feel like at one point we're going to need to change it. But for right now, for this season of Cat Chef Kitchen, which has no defined end date, everything's going to be Sunday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and email list on the website. There's a little sidebar, subscribe, Cat Chef emails, and that's I send out an email like if we're gonna do like a breakfast or maybe like a special dessert show, like sometime during the week. Like, well, it'll probably be spontaneous. Maybe like I'll try and let you know like a day in advance at least, maybe more. Like, because we have some delicious desserts like banana surprise, which I just whipped out of the freezer. That actually doesn't look very appetizing. I have to just demonstrate the banana surprise so people can maybe get a better look at this wonderful little dessert. It's got a graham cracker crust. It's got layers of... It's got a graham cracker crust, which has no butter, but instead uses cream cheese. I mean, not cream cheese, coconut oil. Next, there's a cream cheese layer, but we don't use cream cheese. We use potatoes mixed with like some maple syrup and vinegar and nutritional yeast. Then we use chocolate pudding, which has it's just avocado mashed with cocoa powder and maple syrup. Then we've got a layer of sliced bananas. And then we've got vanilla pudding, which is coconut cream, potato, vanilla extract, and maple syrup. And that's it. And
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I actually want one of these right now. It doesn't look that pretty, but it's just like a mushy goodness. This one has coconut flakes on top. That was a test. We're not going to do that in the future.
It's also 3 a.m. Berlin time when you start your Cat Chef.
Oh, so that's why my sister can't tune in. Otherwise, she'd be joining. Maybe we could do a special European episode for all the Europeans out there that are watching. Anyways, I think I've rambled on enough. I always prolong the ending of these. Ending a video is very difficult for me. So, thank you everyone for watching. Like I said, if you want to... Oh yeah, and Cat Chef Kitchen aprons or t-shirts will be coming out soon that say something way more better. It's better to... Less is way more better, sometimes. Or something like that. ... Alright. Thanks. Oh.
Sorry, one last comment.
Oh, good.
My sister says, sounds like you guys have the recipe dialed in. Is the original vegan... Is it the same as the original one you made in Michigan?
No, it's actually a little different. The only difference was the vanilla pudding layer. I think I skipped the cream cheese layer in Michigan. And then here, I used to make it with tapioca starch instead of potato, but now I switched to potato instead of tapioca starch. So you can use either, but something more fun about potato, just really interesting. And tapioca can get kind of weird. It's got a weird texture to it. Potato's a little bit more creamy and not as stretchy and sticky as tapioca. So, thank you everyone for watching. I'll hear from you hopefully next Sunday, and maybe before then if we do a special dessert episode or we're making blue bread soon. So that might be soon. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow or Tuesday. But thank you everyone. I appreciate all your time tuning in and learning how to make vegan food. So have a great Sunday night.